Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome to Quests and Chaos. My name is Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere, and tonight I will be your heist handler as we continue with our first level 8 module from Keys from the Golden Vault. This module is called Shard of the Accursed, and I'm sure that bodes just fine for everybody and nothing bad will happen to anyone. But in case it does, Golden Vault is, as always, sponsored by the Deck of Inspiration. This great little resource allows you to gift fun boons to your players. We have them for every level span. And our wonderful patrons here on Quests and Chaos have granted many, many cards to our players to help get them out of tight situations, or in some cases cause tight situations, like that emergency seal arf that they like to use to block doorways. If you would like to get your own copy of the Deck of Inspiration, or if you'd like to punish your players with the Deck of Uninspiration for some hilarious Baines to everyone, you can find those at shop.questsandchaos.com. I'm not actually going to have my players who are with me read off all the cards that they have, because they have a lot banked from earlier this month when everyone was very worried about them. They have 7 cards to choose from, though. So if you find you need one, hopefully one of them is there for you.
Can't wait to use that one of uninspiration you gave us.
Oh, yeah, there is. Oh, did I hand that to you? I don't know.
No.
I handed that to you.
You mean this one?
The Ozosphere.
I think that was...
Yep.
Oh, Azar's.
We got
Oh,
it.
that's right, Azar's Sphere.
We got the most useful one, surprisingly.
Well, but I think we also determined that that's meant to be my determination when it activates. So
It does seem to require
because it's
our
not-
interaction. Because
why?
it's like throw something.
Oh, because that's the one you.
As a bonus action, break this marble on any inorganic, Cheryle, object to increase the object size to huge for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that's an us. I feel like you
No,
have
no,
the-
that's right. Now I remember why we had this discussion
Yeah.
last time. Yeah, that's you guys. Hopefully.
Unless one of us is walking around with the backpack full of stuff and we just bump into the wall.
Well, I was gonna say, if like somebody rolls a nat 1 at a key moment, it might activate
Sure.
that card just for the lulz. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, you guys have your cards to play with and to choose from, and you all, if you're here from last week, you might notice that we have pre-split the party, which is what happens when, unfortunately, it's that time of spring when there's a lot of illness running around. Everybody please stay safe and take care of yourselves. We're down a couple of players because they need to take care of themselves. So we've pre-split the party, and before we find out what this half of the party is going to get into, let's get into a little recap. Last episode, a team of operatives was called together by not their usual handler, Priscilla, but an automated message delivered through one of the enchanted keys of the Golden Vault, and accompanied by a large cylindrical lead case. The case contained a mysterious black shard stolen from the tomb of the giant Zelawan and believed to be a source of great power, but also bestowed with a mighty curse. The vault dispatched our operatives to the town of Oztacan to return the stolen shard and thereby end the town's misfortunes. After a nauseating teleport to a demi-plane off of the Radiant Citadel, the team began to hunt for further information on Zelawan and the shard's curse. Eventually, they met Leandro, a tabaxi playwright and amateur historian of the town, who told the party the tale of Zelawan's tomb and the heroes of whom he had been a party member. After being charmed by Stuart's dulcet baritone and impeccable accent, Leandro also informed the party that the mayor's sister was working with a gang called the Onyx Scar to excavate something from the giant's tomb. And that leads us to where we are now. You have all met with Leandro. He has told you some of the lore, the history of the town. He has told you a little bit about the gang that is slowly gaining more purchase here, especially as anyone who had money has already left due to these violent earthquakes that are getting worse and worse over the last couple of months. And pretty much everyone who is left in the town is either affiliated to or bought out by this gang of thugs, or is so poor and desperate that they cannot leave until they scramble together enough money to get out. You have shared with him a little bit about the shard. You at least let him look. You did let him look in the canister to see the shard. You told him you were here to help. He has offered what assistance he can and has recommended that you go speak to Tavio, the mayor of... I don't do it unless I look at it right. Ostcan. Tavio Solana, the mayor of Ostcan. He has also given you a partial map, which was given to... Leandro has given you a partial map, which was given to him by Tavio. Tavio found this map in his sister Aminta's belongings. It appears to be a partial map of the tomb, and he took it and passed it on to Leandro to keep it safe and hidden. You all had this conversation upstairs in Leandro's rented room above the kind of central local watering hole, the coffee shop / tavern of this city. He offers to go down and work out some additional rooms for you, gets you guys a couple of rooms down the hall so you have a place to stay and stash your stuff if need be, have private conversations away from the prying ears of the Onyx Scar. And that is where you are now, gathered in one of your rooms. Stuart and Devan do not seem to be paying a whole lot of attention to your conversation. They seem to be deep in discussion about Hamed, the flatware vendor. They're in a bit of a disagreement because Stuart seems to believe that Hamed is not telling you everything, whereas Devan is quite insistent that a man who makes armor for butter could never not be on the level. So it appears that they have decided this, plus, Stuart has some experience with corruption within the town guard, being as that's how he ended up leaving his own city watch in the first place and going into private investigation. So the two of them decide that they're going to go do some more investigating around the marketplace, speak to some of the other vendors, and do a little bit of maybe spying on the town watch, see if they can get a better handle on how many members of the city guard are actually like active members of the Onyx Scar versus just too poor or apathetic to not be in their pocket. Because if they can be bought by one, maybe they can be bought by somebody else. You never know. So they decide to set off and deal with that side of things, leaving the rest of you to proceed in whatever direction you would like.
Why are they like this?
Well, I can't speak for Stuart. We just met.
Yeah.
But this is pretty par for the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to just go check in with the mayor while they do?
Yeah, I think we can still look into getting that letter of recommendation if we still want to. Or, we can use our letter of recommendation to go talk to the mayor still.
Well, seems like our best option, so let's hop to it.
Woo!
All right.
You set out with the directions provided to you by Leandro toward the Casa Solana, the villa on the edge of town that belongs to the Solana siblings. As Leandro mentioned to you before, the mayor is and his family are kind of the closest thing this town has to any form of like nobility or upper class. They're just too small to have any like major hierarchy. This is mostly a trade town. You either have money and wares or you don't. That's kind of the delineating cycle here. But yeah, you approach. That's a large 2-story house. It has some beautiful like gardens out in the front and planter boxes. This is some of the only greenery you've really seen in town. This has mostly been a very desert climate. So you can see this definitely marks them as having a little bit of status, since they clearly can just, call on or create water to water their plants. You see as you approach, there are a few guards. You see a couple of guards kind of posted just by the front doors. You suspect there's probably a couple more floating around, but, you know, right now it's just the two at the door.
Walk up with the letter.
Yeah. Standard, like, one guy sort of, like, kind of shakes himself a little bit awake from that mid-afternoon, you know, sun's warm, kind of sleepy time. Oh, please, state your business.
Yeah, we're here to see the mayor. We have a letter.
May I? Oh, all right. You have, this is introduction. You've never met before.
Correct.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go check if he's busy. Kind of like glances at his fellow, gives him a nod, goes, opens the door, ushers you all in.
Taz is clocking the layout, exits, entrances, any sort of notions of monitoring.
Yeah.
Just for reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty standard. You open in, it's like a nice like tiled foyer, and then it opens into like a bigger kind of central, you know, gathering room. There's a lot of seating. There's a lot of tables alongside walls. A bunch of beautiful pottery. There's beautiful tile work creating art on the walls. Beautiful handmade rugs on the floor. Things like that. You're walked through this kind of larger open area toward a sort of back hallway area where it looks like there's some smaller, more closed off rooms. As you pass by, you do clock out of the corner of your eye, Taz, because you're looking. There's another guard that's sort of posted kind of at the end of this hallway. Definitely kind of in a centralized, like, anybody on this downstairs area could, like, yell for help or something, you know, or call for assistance, and he would be able to hear. So he's kind of posted in this central area. You also see, you pass, like, a large staircase that kind of sweeps up and goes to the second floor. This is one of those situations where you sort of have rooms and stuff on the second floor you can tell are kind of on the back end of the house. There's this open area over this big central room, like a big chandelier option hanging down. And then there's a little bit of a balcony edge that allows you to circle around that and also leads you to go out onto the little balcony on the front of the house where there's like a patio on the second floor. But you stay on the first floor. The guard escorts you back to this back hallway, goes up to one of the doors and knocks and gets a yes. Sir, we've got an introduction. Some friends of Leandro's are here to speak with you. Right, show 'em in. Opens the door, hands you back the letter, waves you in. You enter this office, and you see a kind of, you know, dark-skinned, short-haired, scruffy-looking man, human, in maybe like late 30s, early 40s. He's sitting behind a desk with just like mountains of like paperwork and tchotchkes that are sort of all at war with each other for space. There's a couple of massive overstuffed bookshelves behind him, some big like plush leather chairs sitting facing him, and then he's another one of these like big, it doesn't actually look that comfortable. It looks like it's meant for being impressive more than it is for being like comfy to lean back in. This huge chair. And then all of the walls that aren't covered with shelves are covered in like tapestries and silks, and you can see that there's tile work behind. Just everything is like a little too much. And it kind of gives the impression of like every person who has like used this room as their office has just added their own stuff, but nothing ever has been taken away. So it's just this eclectic build up of like years and years and years of being in the head office or whatnot.
It's like instead of a family quilt, they just got this.
Yeah. Definitely, you recognize some things. I think all of you would clock onto different items where it's like, oh yeah, like That was a gift from some diplomatic thing. That was some like honorary award that was presented. Some of the stuff probably has some meaning, but a lot of it is just those like, oh, there's the golden scissors from the opening. There's the plaque from the whatever that you can't get rid of it because that would be offensive. But like, what do you do with it? So they're just all wedged in all of these corners.
But is any of it of value?
Would you like to go ahead and give me a perception or an investigation check?
Love to do that with that garbage roll I just did.
Just get it out of the way up front.
Yeah. Let's see. With my investigation, that's a lofty 9.
A lofty 9.
I thought you rolled a 9. Sorry,
No.
I'm sorry.
No, that would have been better if I had rolled a 9. I did not.
Tragedy.
Yeah.
Hard to say because it is very cluttered. On a quick scan and without like getting too close or too hands-on with anything, like some of the stuff, like some of the little like figurines might be of actual like artisanal value. There's some of the like little plaques and awards and things that might be real precious metals, or there's like actual gems in set. But a lot of it is also very much like soccer participation trophy, just like token.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it because your name's on it, sort of situation too. So you'd need a little more time to like
Totally.
sort that out.
Well, Taz is already bored.
So which one of us is going to talk to him first?
Oh my gosh. Hi.
Hello.
Just like hand the letter.
Yes, yeah. He flips it open, casting his. Friends of Leandro, welcome. Yes, I'm Tavio Solano. Solana. I'm the mayor here. Welcome. What can we haven't had visitors in a while, at least none of such rank to get an introduction from Leandro. So welcome. Please sit down. I can have another chair brought in if you need. Chair. Thank you. Just sort of like toward the like still cracked open door, and sort of gestures. He seems a little bit frazzled. But that could just be the mental state of chaos from being in this chaotic room. He's dressed pretty simply, like in the casual clothes, not, pajamas or anything, but he's like long loose robe, comfy sort of, billowy pants, little like house slipper situation. Kicks back in his chair. The guard who showed you in reappears dragging another of these like weirdly large wing. It's fascinating because like nowhere else have the chairs been this way. They've always been like cushions or like big ottoman looking things. This guy's like the only house in town that has real chairs, so it's a little weird. But yeah, kind of awkwardly like wedges another chair in, and then slips back out the door, leaves it kind of ajar. And you're able to sit down, and Tavio Sutherland's like, What can I do for you?
Yeah, we're here to look into your earthquakes.
Are you geologists or seismologists or?
Well, I do know a thing or two about rocks, so.
Excellent.
That's true.
Didn't think I was gonna have to DUI you guys so early.
Yikes.
No, but we did talk with Leandro a little bit about what we think we can do to help, and he sent us your way for some information.
I mean, of course, I'm happy to. If you think you can help, I'm happy to try to provide you. I'm sure I have. He starts kind of like shuffling through his. I'm sure I have like a sort of a record of how drastic the earthquakes were and how frequently they've been coming. If something like that is of use, I'm not sure what else you might need. So just ask away.
Information on the tomb?
The tomb.
Yeah, the one that they're all digging into.
As you might be aware, sometimes excavations can cause deeper problems within the area that's being excavated.
He gets up and skirts around the edge of this room and goes over and fully shuts the door. Comes back around to his desk, and this time he sort of like very much perches like right on the edge of his chair, really uncomfortably. And just okay, so you know about.
You don't have to be uncomfortable with us. We're just here. We have a possible solution. Any information you can give us that can get us in to take care of it. No more earthquakes.
Okay, and is this the sort of solution that I'm gonna need to be paying for? Because I'm already sort of dealing with one of those situations, and I don't really have a lot.
We're on retainer.
So, okay, this isn't a shakedown.
No.
Another party is interested in helping this situation along.
Sorry, helping like.
Resolve your problem.
Okay,
In a positive way, not in the
This isn't a hostile takeover.
No.
No,
Okay.
no,
God,
we would
no.
really like to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Or
Yeah, none of this is that thing that sounds suspiciously kind of threatening that's purely genuine.
Yeah.
Wait, is there a way to make that sound better?
I was like, I don't know, I do shakedowns.
This ain't how I would do a shakedown. I've done those before.
I don't know. You should have been pummeled by now.
He kind of listens, and you see him like relax a little bit and be like, okay. If Leandro told you that you can talk to me about this, then I'm going to assume that he thinks you're okay. So you're, yeah, okay. What exactly do you need to know about the tomb? What do you want to? I don't know how much Leandro said to you. I asked him not to tell anybody, and so I assume if he told you, it was for a good reason.
We are primarily interested in anything that may have gone missing.
Okay. Well, I mean, the person who is currently running the operation in the tomb is obsessed with plundering anything and everything of value, so I imagine a lot has gone missing. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know a lot of the details because I'm trying to stay out of it if possible, so that I'm not implicated in being involved. I'm the mayor, right? I'm supposed to be on the level. I'm supposed to be above board, and
You got about half of your town that's not.
yeah, that's I can't do anything about presenting like I wasn't involved, except for staying as out of it as I can, in hopes that they believe me when I say that I didn't know what was going on until really, really recently. But yeah, the person who is running the operation out there is has found something of value that's there, creating up and exporting as fast as they can get their hands on it. So I'm sure there's a lot missing from that tomb. I just don't totally know what it is.
We were under the impression that someone you're close to might have better information.
It might be that the person running the operation is a member of my family.
Have they told you what areas they have been focusing on in their excavation?
No. I was told in no uncertain terms to mind my panel and keep my nose out of her business. Unless I wanted to be part of her business. And I'm not really interested in that, whatever that implication was meant to be. So, no, I don't. I just know that she's very invested. She, I hesitate to use the term boyfriend because I don't actually know if that was what was happening, but she was very deeply involved with someone else who believed that there was something of great value in that tomb, and I think the two of them spent a lot of time conspiring, and
Would that be Relago?
yes, he was purported to be an archaeologist, showed up when we were, young teenagers, asking a lot of questions, trying to get my father to give him permission to investigate the tomb. My father was the mayor before me, if Leandro didn't say, and Aminta was just very enthralled with the whole idea. I mean, I guess, I read books like that when I was a kid, right? Those pulp novels where you go on dashing adventures and plunder ancient civilizations for untold riches, and I guess that sort of sparked something in her, because she started running around with this Relago all the time, and then as she grew up, and he must have learned more about the tomb sneaking around behind my father's back when we weren't paying attention, because they were just up there all the time, and I don't think it's because they were devoutly religious or anything. So yeah, and then Dad died and I took over, and by the time I realized what they were up to, we were too deep in, and I'd been too clueless the whole time to stop them, so now we're here, I guess. And it seems like she's getting a little more aggressive since he disappeared, so...
The boyfriend is gone?
Relago? Yeah,
he
he
left.
Oh, right. He
hasn't
busted out of
been
town.
seen
Vanished
in...
when the quakes started.
Right.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, about the time I stopped seeing him around or hearing anything about him was about the time that the earthquake started up again.
So we have something that we think belongs to the tomb that might be part of what's causing the quakes.
Okay.
Are you able to get us into the tomb without a search?
Ugh. I can get you into the tomb as employees, but I'm gonna be real honest. I don't think anybody up there is gonna listen to me over my sister. So it's gonna be on her. Best way I can think of to get you up there would be to just introduce you to some possible new workers. She's desperate for them. She's desperate to the point that she told me to be on the lookout for anybody who might want a job. I could certainly get you in that way. If you've got a better angle that you think I could use to get you in without a search, that's great. But she's got some folks up there who are real suspicious about things and really don't like they search everyone. I think some of them are the just other higher ups in the gang, but she's got one buddy up there who's a real weirdo.
What kind of buddy are we talking about here, and what kind of weird?
The magic kind.
Oh.
I try to stay out of it. Pulp novels. I read a lot when I was a kid. Like mad scientist vibes or like crazy evil wizard vibes. He kind of gives off that energy. I've only met him a couple of times, and that is enough for me personally.
Do you know when about he showed up?
Honestly, no. He could have been there the whole time. He might have come with Relago when Relago first showed up 20 years ago. I don't even remember.
Do you know if there are any alternate entrances to the tomb? Like anything they've got, they're not keeping a great watch on that specific set of wall.
Well,
Stretch of wall.
So there's the main entrance, right? The big steps where people used to go to pray and leave offerings, and everyone kind of... Some people who are super devout and think we've angered the gods still try to go and leave offerings there, but they just keep it at the bottom step away from where the guards are. There is a guarded passage in the in the citadel that like leads to the, that's how they get the workers in and out. So it's kind of like a extra tunnel. I think it's to help hide numbers and hide who's going in there. I imagine there's a lot of folks around that wouldn't want their neighbors knowing they've caved.
That makes sense.
It's kind of a mess. I wish I'd figured things out sooner, but she's a lot sneakier than I am.
Everybody's got their skill sets.
Yeah, let's go with that. I'm pretty sure mine is culinary arts, and I wish Dad would have just let me go to the city to study cooking.
Is this an elected position?
Technically, yes, but in order to lose, someone else would have had to run.
This is going to sound like a slight, and I don't mean it in this way, but we just came from a town where they had a pig for a mayor, so we could just find, like, if you want out.
Honestly,
I'm offering.
I'm gonna be real with you.
Uh-huh.
That sounds amazing. I would love to not have this job anymore. I did not want it in the first place, and also I clearly suck at it. Unfortunately, I do feel a certain level of obligation to the town that I have lived in my whole life to not leave them with my shitty, conniving, manipulative sister running a gang of thugs and criminals.
We are more than happy to help with some of that.
Plus, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little worried about the optics of a pig annexing this city and starting an all-out war.
I mean, there's a very popular camel who's won most of the races at the festivals.
I would also say, as very clearly, like, you are
A pig from another plane, no less.
Wait, you guys aren't even from here?
We get around.
I am from this. I'm mostly from this plane.
Got it. While we're quickly laughing, from Red Dead Coquette for the punspiration from earlier.
Woo!
Good. Love it.
As a merchant town,
Yes.
there are a few folks we've interacted with who could be convinced maybe to run.
I feel like you're not wrong. I think there's plenty of viable candidates in town who seem wise and business savvy enough to run a town. I do think they might be slightly intimidated by the opposing party. Which I assume is maybe why no one is running against you.
We operate on like a 5-year cycle, so really like I'm coming up on what would be the next actual election anyway. I did think briefly about trying to convince Leandro to run because I don't think he'd necessarily be any better of a mayor than me, but he at least loves attention. So that felt like
he would be a great proponent for the arts.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I was gonna try to create some sort of like laureate situation for him, mostly just to give me a leg up on looking like I have anyone in my corner who doesn't already work for the criminal organization that is slowly taking over this town.
Yeah.
But
Have you observed with said organization any weak links? Anyone who might have noticed any weak links?
There could be some of the folks, if my sister's on like the top tier, then there's got to be sort of a middle management system, right? You have the very small handful and then you've got the next layer down. I would suspect, knowing what I know about this town, the people who live here, who grew up here, there's got to be at least a handful of them that are superstitious enough or religious enough to realize that the earthquakes that almost devastated this place were because the city had been cursed. And the thing that lifted that curse was a great hero who not only pled with the gods on their behalf and defended the city from the curse, but then also sacrificed himself with the last breath of his life essence to save everyone else, which was seen as the greatest sacrifice that could be made and ended the curse, or so we had thought. The fact that it's back means something's happened that has brought about the ire of the gods or the heroes or something. Somebody's got to believe that, right? That wouldn't continue to be the story if everyone had given up on that concept.
I have a horrible idea.
I also have a horrible idea.
Great.
Please.
We have, I would say, something that its restoration might make someone a hero within the view of the town. And we have someone who's like super about the history of the town. And if that person were to say, accomplish a heroic feat, they might be elected mayor.
That's pretty good. I don't know where the horrible part came in.
Because it's insane.
Mine is not as horrible. In a loving way.
That's fine.
No, I'm thinking more if we can maybe start spreading some of those rumors a little more strongly in the bars, figuring out who middle management is and seeing if we can start putting earworms.
Yeah.
As you are sitting here and speaking of this, everybody give me a dexterity saving throw as another earthquake ripples through the city.
Okay.
Okey-doke. It's a 15.
15,
19.
19,
9.
9. Who currently has the tube?
I think I do.
You were the last one who
Yeah.
had it.
Oh, dear.
If you grabbed it. Yeah. An earthquake.
I was gonna say, I've got a big plus on mine. Can I just?
An earthquake shakes. Everybody sort of like braces. Taz, you just waver with the like absolutely unfazed. You get a little like lurched, but you're able to sort of steady yourself. Gemma, you feel like something grabs you and yanks you off of your chair like directly onto your butt on the floor.
I'm telling you, it really wants to go back in there.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we want it to go in there too. There was no way around that phrasing.
It wasn't.
Tavio was starting to get up to like ask if you needed help, and then just like fully freezes and just starts to like his dark skin just like gets even darker as it's that like he wants to know what that means, but he also very much is not about to ask you what that means. And so he just kind of sputters for a minute. I apologize. Can I give you, and like comes around the desk to like offer you.
Thank you, Huey. Can I give this back to you now?
Oh, yeah, sure, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, you sling.
You never seen a lady with a weird tube before?
Not that kind. Look, there's a place down in the lower city. Highly recommended if you're into that sort of thing. They got all kinds of
What's the
weird
name?
tubes.
You don't have to.
The Blushing Oasis.
Beautiful.
Canon.
It's.
I had to just
cannon
very
fodder.
quickly scramble for something that was not canonically a house of ill repute in an existing D&D canon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, and especially with Leandra's help, I can certainly get some rumors going around and trying to amp that up. But I will say, I think most of anyone who that's going to affect is they're practically living up there at the dig site these days. I haven't seen my sister in weeks, except she occasionally like comes home, leaves her dirty laundry for me to do, takes clean clothes, heads back out, and reminds me to keep my mouth shut. So like,
This might be a slightly indelicate question, but she's got quarters here?
Yeah, technically she still has a bedroom upstairs. She doesn't use it much.
Would you mind if we took a look around?
I'm gonna make an equally weird request. Can you guys just really loosely tie me up and knock me out before you do, so that I've got some
Yeah.
plausible deniability?
That's what you're
Absolutely.
into.
I mean, don't worry.
It's not like that. Oh god, it's just bright red now.
That's why he knows the house of ill repute.
I just want to be able to provably say that I did not know what you guys were up to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
before you do the knocking out or anything, is there any other questions I can answer for you?
I mean, we're not in a rush to do that. Just don't even worry. You won't even know what's happening.
Okay, great. Love that.
Yeah.
I guess the main
Jump you.
I mean,
Set up a little then you'll really not know it's coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
there are
Push him out the window right now.
We're on the first floor.
there are
There's windows.
I should warn you, there
bush.
are 6 guards at the house at all times. 2 in the front, 2 at the back door, and 2 inside that sort of
Can I
hang out.
can I shift into him? Not in yes.
I mean, you.
I would like to disguise myself as
Yes.
him.
No,
Yes.
that's what I.
Yeah.
Do you want to just do it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You absolutely can.
Is this okay?
Ah!
Do you have any secret passcodes or anything we should know to let the guards know we're okay?
You know, honestly, that would have been a great idea, but I
Okay.
don't think we ever established that. I'm scanning really quick just to see if it tells me anything specific about these guards.
Any magical locks we should know about?
I don't know what the hell Aminta has up in her room. I did a bare minimum amount of snooping, found some fragments of a map that I gave to Leandro to hang on to, and then got out of there because I realized if I took anything, she was likely to notice. But if the more I took, the more likely she was to notice that somebody had been in there, right? Yeah, I found those in a book on the shelf. So I just slid them out and put the book back on the shelf.
Great.
Last question. Which one of us should punch you?
I honestly, I don't care. I could just turn my back to you and try to get something out of this drawer, and y'all can just pop me on the back of the head or whatever works for you guys.
I have a negative strength modifier.
Yeah, I think this is your joy and your delight of the 3 of us.
Sounds good.
All right, we're done.
Roll me an attack roll. He's got it
Watch me miss.
Well, do it with advantage. Do it with advantage because he is surprised, and he did also tell you to do it. So even if he notices, he's not going to
Did you
flinch.
crit?
Non-lethal.
I didn't crit, thankfully. I want first test game for Quest and Chaos. Fun fact: I accidentally slapped a man to death.
Non-lethal damage.
Rolled
He's
a
only
nat.
punching him. It's
We
fine.
don't want to kill him.
Rolled a nat 20 and then a max damage on the die roll.
Great. Cool.
Let me see. So it's definitely over 20 something.
To hit, yeah, that's this guy basically essentially has commoner stats. He has slightly beefy commoner stats.
Yeah.
He looks like he works out a little bit. He's not cut like Dave, but he's been to ages.
Who wins?
Go ahead and give me roll your damage so I
Okay.
can see how
I think-
hard you knock this guy
I think it's
out.
just flat 3.
Flat 3? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you pop in the face. He is not braced for it, so it's a real easy. You just clock him. His eyes roll back in his head, and he just slumps back in his chair.
Cool.
Oh,
Tie him to the chair.
Yeah. I'll take some crappy paper off of it and stuff it in his mouth a little bit.
Oh, you think he's gonna be mad?
I think he'll get over it,
Can we leave,
assuming
a
we
little,
fix the problem.
sorry on the paper before we put it in there? Just write a little sorry.
What polite criminals!
There's also a little silk scarves and things on the walls if you want to
Oh yeah.
gag him more.
With his family crest, I love it. He literally asked us to do
I
it,
know.
so he could not have given more explicit consent.
If we write something mean and nasty on it, will that be more convincing?
We'll get ya.
While you guys are grabbing paper off of his desk, go ahead and everybody give me perception checks. Who is... just everybody give me perception checks.
Seeing through walls.
14.
14.
17.
17.
25.
Yeah, I was going to say, Taz can't not crit basically on this.
I crit, yeah.
Taz, you, as you guys are like shuffling through these various stuff, you actually spot something super interesting. You spot a note that is sitting there, and it catches your eye because you catch the name Relago on it. You pick it up, you look at it, and it is a very hastily written note that says, yeah, there we go. It's a very hastily written note that says, Relago is dead. No one can find out. He was killed by a trap in the tomb. If anyone else hears about this, we're going to lose workers. Tell them he ran off. Do you want to share now, or do you want to save it for the after dark?
I asked Cheryle at a certain point, do we need to bury the boyfriend in the tomb with the object? And Cheryle,
Like, can we?
can we? Done and done.
I'm also going to say, with a 25, you find this note. The paper that it is written on does not look like it is really it looks like it was like maybe torn out of a notebook. Doesn't look very similar to the size or coloration of any other paper on this desk. And the handwriting does not match most of the other handwriting on papers on these desks. So you were quickly able to determine that whoever wrote this note was not Tavio. Like, you can find other things that are very obviously his.
Yes.
It is, this paper also has a crease in it, like it was like folded in half, so it looks like it was probably like scribbled off, folded in half, handed off to somebody, has somehow wound up with Tavio. Not sure if Tavio was the intended recipient or if he came by it some other means.
Yeah.
If he knew this already, though, why didn't he just tell us that dude was dead instead of disappeared?
Maybe the sister just stuffed it in here for some weird reason.
I know this room is a little bit in disarray, but was that by anything in particular, or like was that in the inbox or the outbox, or was it like a stray somewhere?
It was kind of like, as you were picking up some of the papers, like being like, oh, this is a shopping list, that's not important, crumple, stuff in his mouth. It was like under a couple of other pieces of paper. Kind of looks like it just sort of went by the wayside, got, was on the table, so other stuff got put on top of it, it got forgotten about. Go ahead and also give me an insight check.
Less good.
That's fine.
And we know Taz is not the best. Yeah, that would be a whopping 7.
Even with a 7, Taz, like, and your ability to, like, you've worked with these types of people before, this dude is scared of his sister.
Yeah.
Like, if this note was meant for him, or even if it wasn't but he read it, the fact that this is a very clear, do not tell anyone this guy is dead, that could be why he didn't tell you even if he knew.
Sure. Yeah, that was gonna be like, he really has no actual reason to trust us, but us dangling a like, we could get you out of this is getting him to like, it was getting him to be like, just punch me.
Yeah. He's like, why can't he trust us? Unconscious mirror next to big guy.
Yeah, I was sitting there, wake up.
Want to go look through a room?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
I'm gonna, I will stay as him.
Yep. You are
as
him.
we walk around.
Cool. Go ahead and give me I think this would be a performance check as you.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we've got a lot of performance power around here.
I was going to say, I would like to use my enhance ability spell.
Okay.
If I can figure out what spell level it is. 2! Perfect. To enhance... Right? The goddamn
Yeah.
To enhance her charisma.
Yeah, Eagle Splendor.
Eagle
Splendor. What is that again?
You have advantage on charisma checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's better. 18.
18. Great.
Noise, noise, noise.
Cool. Good job.
Caca.
Yeah, you pop out. There is the one guard who's standing at the end of the hallway. He does kind of do a double take as you guys pop out and like kind of like cross by him. You know, he like glances. He's also in that bored sleepy mode, but he does kind of give another like little look, but he doesn't say anything or come after you.
Yeah. I will do like a little just like duck back in like I'm saying something to somebody
Okay,
and then duck back out
got it.
and take the other two.
He visibly relaxes.
Great. 3 of us went in.
I was gonna, no, I thought of that a long time ago, and I was gonna be like, the bathroom, but this is better.
Very good, because that was a very close roll between the two of you.
Sure.
So, yeah, you head upstairs. You get there. There's like 5. You get up. There's like a little bit of a hallway. There's like 5 doors. One of them is open to a room that is clearly like either a guest room or unused. It's, you know, there's like a bed, but there's nothing really in there you can see. The other 4 doors are closed. You can quickly pop along. There's that room. There's a little water closet room kind of next to it. There's
Can I check the water closet?
it's got a toilet and a little showerlet situation.
Nothing in the
And a
toilet.
sink. This is one of those fancy people ones. It doesn't even have it's got
There's
like
no
the
tank.
like, yeah, it's just got like
Or
piping with the big like pull chain
Man.
versions. The
I was
tank's
like,
probably-
where do they keep their money?
Yeah, it's a pedestal sink. There is no medicine cabinet. There's like a little hanging thing off of the shower head that holds like little like hotel looking soaps and body washes and things. There's like no storage.
How do they live? Okay.
Next door is a linens closet. Has a handful of towels, sheets, tablecloths, whatever in it. And then there's kind of 2 doors that split on opposite sides that look like they're taking the bulk of the upstairs, presumably the bedrooms of the 2 siblings. You're guessing now that you kind of look at the layout, the large room that looks like it was just used was probably Dad's room when he was alive and now has been made over into just kind of a, you know, an extra, a spare room. You check, you pop open the one door. It is clearly a dude's room. You pop in the door. It is clearly a lady's room. And what I say about this, these rooms look like they have not been redecorated since these people were teenagers.
Yeah.
Like you pop open the one and there's like posters of like, you know, of like big like pulp illustrations of like whoever is the equivalent of Indiana Jones in this universe. You're just like, oh, he really was in this when he was a kid. Okay. And the other one has like a poster of some like Astral Sea pop star on the wall.
Yeah. Devan would have loved that.
Yeah.
But Devan's doing the butter thing, I guess.
I love multiple directions.
It was funny, and then it was funnier.
Thank you.
That was very good.
You pop into the room with the pop star poster on the wall, and you see there's a bunch of neatly folded laundry laid out on a made bed. It is all stacked. Again, it looks like this is like just come out of the wash or something. It's been folded and is waiting here. There is a dresser. One of the drawers is partially pulled out, and you can see it is currently empty. There's like a couple of shelves that are attached to the wall, have some books and a bunch more like tchotchkes, much like what you saw downstairs, but maybe a little more curated on them. There's a desk that is just piled with a combination of like books, old toys, various papers, probably a very dead several models ago sending stone that you'd be shocked if that brick even turns on anymore. it really is like a physical brick as opposed to the nice sleek kind of pebble style that you all have now. Closet, ensuite bathroom, like little bathroomette in there. A teenager's room that is now presumably being semi-occupied by like a 30-something-year-old.
Shall we?
Yes.
Investigation checks! If anyone wants to look anywhere specific, feel free to declare it. But otherwise, I'm just going to assume that you guys are going to go through this entire room.
I would love to do some like mattress check-in.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I'd like to check any of the books, see if the handwriting matches that letter we found.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that was almost
Oh.
a 20. I'm so mad.
You gotta tell me what it is. I don't know
Nat
what the
20.
smile means. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, I keep forgetting. This is also an audio podcast.
This is an audio medium. You have to tell me what
Oh,
it is.
right.
You have to tell the DM anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you gave that little, I thought you saw it from me.
I can't read it from here.
That is fair.
I'm blind even with my glasses on. Great. And sorry, and what did you get, Taz? 22? Okay.
It was a 20 and then it bounced and now it's an 11.
Tragic.
I know.
You feel around in the mattress and find a bunch of what a teenager would think is the epitome of sexy clothes. You're guessing they were shoplifted probably during
Right.
that rebel phase.
Right. There's like a tube top in there.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
the one pair of like lacy reds.
yeah. Yeah. Classic, like, teenage
Yeah.
rebellion sexy clothes.
Mini skirt.
It's not even a skirt.
Nat 20, you're looking through books and papers and things. You find the diary. Like,
Gold mine.
it's,
Juicy
you
details.
open a book, it's a hollow book. Inside is clearly the diary with the little lock on it and everything. And
For context,
Yes.
Taz has raided many a room.
yes.
She vibes, she looks, and she is drawn to the thing. What thing is she drawn to?
You immediately look at the dresser and just like scanning it, and you're like, oh no, there's a false bottom in that bottom drawer, and you just like walk over, like pull it
Yeah.
out, yank it out, lift out the piece underneath, immediately find the secret cache. There's a ton of money in here.
Did you find anything?
No, where it's not just, yeah, we're good. We can go home.
Yeah, there's a ton of money here. There is also a map tube at the very back.
Perfection. Gotta pop that bad boy open immediately.
Yeah, you pop it open and start unfurling just all kinds of blueprints, like ground plan blueprints, and schematics, and also something that looks like just an insane amount of like chemical equations. And by chemical, I also mean like it's clearly a mix of like science and arcane. Like there is symbols for like transmutation and enchantment and whatever, but it's also then combined with like a bunch of like geological markers and stuff. Like someone is doing some experiments.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Taz only knows the symbols for like gold, silver,
The important
copper,
ones. And
everything
the Philosopher's
else.
Stone.
Yeah, yes. Everything else is like useless.
Do you want to pop the lock on this diary? It is
most-
not hard. You can do it by hand.
I most certainly do.
Yeah. You just like pink this like little
Plastic
child's-
lock.
Yeah. It's like one of those little metal ones where you're like, I can just like pop the pin in from the
Yeah,
outside and punch it open. Yeah, you pop it open, you open it. You have a full diary. The front, very like kid handwriting, says property of Amita Solana, gross boys keep out.
Well, this one's for you.
Frankly, I'm really proud of you for like respecting this, what I assume was a note from a 13-year-old.
But yeah, whoever wishes to, or maybe you guys take turns, you're able to flip through this diary, and you can
Dramatic
see
readings.
this does start clearly when she's like 13, 14, and goes, like, you can flip to the back page. The handwriting on the back page looks like a much neater version of the handwriting on that note. Like, this thing, she is still using this book.
Yeah, she is.
That's why she keeps it hidden. But you can flip through and you can actually find several things. You find a section from when you're kind of having to guesstimate on ages and stuff, but you can find a section from when she's maybe about like 17 or so, where she starts talking. She suddenly starts talking about like this archaeologist who came into town who was talking to her dad. He has these cool ideas about the treasure that's probably hidden in that tomb, and her dad won't even listen to him. This kind of progresses into Lago and I met up at the old graveyard, and he was telling me about this dig that he, like, you see the full progression of this going from like kid fascinated with the stranger from the foreign land to her like really getting involved with him. There are definitely some sections that you skim over because you don't need that much detail about what else they were doing in that graveyard.
Her prose is leaving something.
It's
It leaves something to be desired.
probably a good thing that she did not decide to be a novelist. This is absolutely something that you need a deft hand like Leandro to make into something palatable.
For sure.
But at least it's descriptive.
You could sell it to Leandro.
The attempting
If you're looking for your R&J, we got him here.
But you make it through. It goes through phases. You get through a section. Again, nat 20, you found this. It's got all the dirty details. She didn't think anyone was ever going to find this. Or if they did, they were going to look at the fuzzy pink diary and be like, oh, that's from when she was 13, and ignore it. You see as it progresses through over the course of like 2 decades, really, her talking more about she and Relago going, deciding that if her father's not going to give them permission, then they're just going to take permission, going to the Onyx Scar to see if they can negotiate protection in exchange for a share of whatever valuables they find. And then you find the real kicker. You find a section where she begins to talk about... Where I have to find it. You find a section where the entry basically starts with like, he was right the whole time, and it's even better than we thought. And she begins to explain that in searching through this tomb, they have discovered a material called, which they are calling ostaconite, after the town. Ostaconite seems highly conductive for magic. And it is everywhere in this tomb. There are little bits and pieces of it throughout. But specifically in this central shaft, it seems like what she refers to as the giant's effigy is made entirely of this stuff. And as you continue skimming through, you see more and more entries about how they're trying to find more ways to dismantle it, to kind of farm this ostaconite off of the effigy, to process it, break it down. You start seeing references to someone named, where is it? Someone named Edino, who is an old, it seems to be an old, like, acquaintance of Relago's, another elf who Relago brings in to help him examine the ostaconite and experiment with it to see what other properties can be unlocked with this. She, there's some like sidebars about she's clearly working more and more closely with the Onyx Scar. You get to a point where you find where she says, you know, I always thought killing someone was going to be harder than that. And you realize that she murdered her way into the gang. She basically took out one of the high-level lieutenants and took his place. Because if he got killed, he probably deserved it. And if she was able to kill him, she gets a spot. You get the entire arc of her descent into this very disturbing position of basically being, a mob boss as she's working with her lover and her lover's weird, creepy college friend, ?
Yucky framing.
On this. We're doing a lot of summarizing. This is a hilarious way to give you all of this information, but honestly, so much better than trying to figure out how you, get this snooping around the gang. Because who else would know all this shit?
No, I like this way better. She also is way better at journaling than I ever was. So, frankly, respect.
She's very efficient. There is definitely also, there are entries that are just, lists of, names with some little codes, and you're pretty sure she's keeping, almost like a hit, if not a hit list, at least a,
Keeping tabs.
Yeah, keeping tabs on some of the folks within the gang, right?
Regina George is so
She's burn booking the rest of the thugs.
Yeah, absolutely. XOXO Gossip Girl.
Lady Whistledown.
That's if we're gossiping.
Anyway.
Oh, we are going to be.
We're
so
starting
hard.
The
You
gossip
have
column.
so much information now. And then as you get through here, one of the last entries that you see in here is a little, again, this is not a great literary work. This is, but it's it's efficient. She is recording details that she wants to retain, right? This one is a little bit almost too punctuative in a way that makes it more emotional than anything else you've read since maybe the teen years when she was having school drama. But it's just this very short, quick sort of Relago's dead. I told that idiot to be more careful, and he went and set off a fucking trap. At least it only hit him, and now we know there's fucking traps. I can't believe, it seems like it's this almost she's trying really hard to be detached because she's actually upset. And then she's like, good for him. He died the way he always wanted, falling on a giant shard of some stupid artifact that now he's never going to get to know about. I told Guido to get rid of it. That's the last entry in the book.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. That took me a really long time.
Look, there was no way I was going to come up with anything faster, so we're just going
You're
with
totally fine.
stereotypes.
You're totally fine. That whole thing went from tragic to full circle on our dirty jokes. It was beautiful.
You're welcome. I wasn't even prepared for this, so that's just fully off the cuff. This is why I am the
Amazing.
demonetizer of the channel.
Bless her with bits.
Yeah,
Wait, who did she tell to get rid of it?
Guido.
Guido.
I don't know how you could possibly
He's an
forget.
import from a different demiplane that is less Middle Eastern / Mexico coded than this module is actually written as.
The mob is an international kind of vibe.
Yeah. I mean, we accidentally made it to Italian mob when I should have made it cartel, but same difference.
They can work together.
Exactly.
Also,
Guido's on loan from another syndicate. It's fine. He's
Yeah.
really good at his job, which is getting rid of murder weapons like giant shard artifacts.
Oh.
technically we didn't look at it for blood or knock on it and be like, hello, is anyone in there?
We didn't touch it.
No.
No.
No,
No.
you very explicitly did
We
not
did
touch
not
it.
touch it.
No, but I mean, we looked at it. So if it was a little guy inside going, ah, then we probably would have seen it.
Hello, it's Relago we're looking for.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to let him out.
Are you a soul gem?
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Anyway, that is what. So you have found a very detailed diary with a lot of information, a bunch of illicitly gotten money and plans, and some
Sexy
teenager sexy underwear. Congratulations. Thank you, Red Dead Coquette. I will treasure these bits and absolutely forget to use them because we haven't rolled any dice tonight because I had to narrate teenage sex fantasies.
Late night Q&C. What you gonna do?
Anyway, that is what you have found. I should probably roll and see if any guards have... Nope. They saw the mayor go take some guests upstairs, and they're not worried about it. So, and they apparently haven't gone
I
looked in the
am
office.
still the
so-
mayor.
I assume.
Okay.
Yeah. The mayor walking in,
funnier.
holding up his sisters.
I mean, he did say that he does her laundry
Yes,
for her,
that's
so
true.
he probably
That's
wouldn't.
true.
But does he do this laundry for her?
Do you want to check the laundry that's on the bed?
No.
I'm pretty sure she forgot about those if you
I
found
mean,
them
I will
like
check
under.
it for clues, but
Yeah.
not.
It mostly looks like what you would expect Marion Ravenswood to wear, when she's like having to chase Indy around a pyramid or some bullshit.
All right.
How long does your disguise self last? Is there a time limit on it? Okay, then it doesn't matter. Just double check. Like, I'm assuming you guys had to take like a bit to like.
Sure.
Again, this is not. There is a lot of information in this diary. I'm assuming you guys didn't like sit and read every single word. You skimmed for like important keywords like tomb, relago, stuff like that, and found the like relevant entries. But you've been up here for a bit. Also, you needed enough time to stash all of this money in various parts of your cargo pockets.
You would be surprised at how many pockets Taz has.
Yeah, it's weird. Even without a bag of holding, somehow like a drawer's worth of wads of bills have just vanished into Taz's clothes.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Child's play.
Yeah, truly.
That's why her hair is so big, it's full of secrets.
It's full of money.
Once we are done in here, have we passed like, a water jug or anything on our way up?
There are various like stands with like decorative like pottery and things like that.
But no, like, oh, I'm thirsty. I can just fill up right here.
We've passed
There's
by
some
the
off-
bathroom.
There's a bathroom, yeah.
Are there cups near the bathroom?
Yes, there is a holder on the wall that has 2 drilled out holes and 2 cups set inside of it.
Okay. Just when we do leave, I just want to name it so I don't forget it when we do, that I'll grab a cup of water to take back with us to the office. To be like, oh, yeah, here you go. Here's some water. Sorry you missed the tour.
I was waiting for some weird water magic to happen.
I was definitely
I was
are
like,
you gonna like break
yeah,
something?
are you gonna crush the door? What's happening?
No, I'm
No,
covering
you're
our
covering for
track.
the fact that
Okay.
there's a third person that didn't leave
Got
the
it.
office. Good job.
Okay, no, that's much more thorough planning.
I almost was about to make another comment, and that's a different character that you play in a different
Yeah,
game of mine.
and that's where
No.
I was like, is that where you're going?
That's also where I
That's
was
a
like-
different...
Well, yes,
Yeah.
I was very much like, no, you don't need the water in this, do you?
No,
I don't know.
She can create.
I don't know what.
Well, I was going
don't
to
know what
say
Gemma's
there
all
was something
about.
funny about like taking water to the water genasi, who was clearly like, but you're not a water
I'm not a
genasi in
water
this game.
genasi.
You're made of rocks.
You're
sort of.
marble.
Anyway,
Marble.
marble. You head out. You can you can certainly grab a glass of water and take it down. You head back down.
Are we done up here?
I mean, unless we want to check out his room.
I think
Cursory glance of his room. Messy. There is an empty hamper with a pile of dirty clothes on the floor next to it.
I think if we can like
there is a video game console set up in the corner.
If we can mess some things around in his room so it looks like someone didn't just go through her room.
I mean, it
Like,
kind
they
of looks
also-
like that already.
You could fold all of his laundry.
And then as we go past the linen closet, like toss some of the linens a little
I
bit.
guess, yes, we could do that. Well, we didn't like rip apart her room per
No,
se.
but she's gonna if she gets back
She might
here.
notice,
Yeah.
She'll notice all of her money's gone. I don't think. I mean, she might
The
be like,
diary we're definitely pocketing.
my lucky underoos.
Yeah. Should we put the diary back or keep it with us?
kind of want to keep it.
I mean, I think it's the curio that we have to bring back to the Golden Vault and be like, we've returned with a new treasure.
This is how we get into Candlekeep.
Yeah.
Let's see those silver daggers up this.
They wouldn't have another copy.
Nope.
So, Great. You guys do a little bit of shenanigans, mussing up other rooms, if you so choose. You grab a glass of water, you head back downstairs. When you come down, you see there are now 2 guards who are in the hallway. It's the one who was there before that you passed by, and a different guy. They're just chatting. Just like, it seems like maybe they're like tag teaming to let like the one dude be inside while the other one goes outside or something. They're just chatting for a little bit. They like look up, the guy who saw you pass by before kind of clocks you, gives you the nod or whatever.
Back into the office.
You proceed back in. Tavio is still fully unconscious, tied to his chair, drooling a little bit.
I'm going to drop my disguise.
Great.
Oh. No, wait, that would completely undermine the fact we're here to cover up, make us look like we're doing stuff. It's like, I kind of want to summon my little buddy to cause a scene.
I mean, you could
We don't
cause
need a scene. We're
you
just
can
gonna walk
also
out.
at this point just leave.
Yeah.
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 Save the scene for the dig site.
Oh yeah, we will definitely need that.
Great. You guys probably wait another minute or two, maybe scan through some more papers on his desk, just to give it the presentation of
Yeah.
happening, and then you're able to leave. You do see when you come back out again, it's the new guard is the one in the hallway now. The other guy seems to have swapped posts with him or something. And you're able to just head out. Like, he kind of sees and just like, hey, do you need anything else? Everything good?
No, I think we're all right. Thank you.
Great. And does Mr. Solana need anything?
Oh, he seemed like he was settling back into whatever he was writing. So
Oh, alrighty. Thank you. He goes to show you to the door.
to the door.
You are able to exit back out with a lot of newfound knowledge and newfound riches. And I think this is the point at which we will take our break. Please stick around. We will be back very shortly to see what these folks do with this new information. Which might just be leave, apparently. We might not even play this module. Who knows? No, but stick around. We will be back very soon. Enjoy our little break video. Say thank you to our wonderful patrons that help us keep the lights on here. If you would also like to help us keep the lights on here and want to throw us some bits, we wouldn't say no. Sorry, coins. It's coins here. My bad. I haven't slipped on that in a while. I'm tired. We'll see you all in just a few minutes. Bye. Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome back to Quests and Chaos. We are in the middle of episode 2 of whatever I called this episode, Shard of the Accursed, the Onyx Scar. Our party is currently split, and so Gemma, Taz, and Huey have just come from having a conversation with the mayor of the town of Oztacan about his sister's criminal activities in the hero's tomb that supposedly houses the heroes who once protected the city. They did some rifling through a teenage nightmare, found a lot of information and a lot of illicit cash. And now they are plotting what next steps to take to hopefully return this cursed shard back into the tomb from whence it came. You have left the mayor's home, leaving him willingly unconscious and tied up for plausible deniability after rifling through his sister's room. And I assume you're probably headed back to the tavern to make plans, back to your rooms, unless you want to go somewhere else.
The circuitous route.
You can also just do a walk and talk. You can West Wing it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I think the question is, if we are infiltrating as workers, do we infiltrate as ourselves as workers or as like random person number 3 as workers?
I mean, ostensibly, we are random person number 3 because no one knows us.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to go in, I would never stop someone from disguising themselves. It's a very fun activity. But I think we'll probably be fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, this is a very small town, so there is a certain level of people knowing people, but it is also a merchant town. People passing through is common enough, and if you're down enough on your luck, you might be willing to risk the town full of earthquakes if you've heard rumors that there's good money to be made quickly. So it can go both ways. As you head out, 2 coins from Duke Fleeg.
Thank you, Your Grace.
I'm gonna have it do too.
Oh,
So
in the
close.
dice tray.
That seems like a good sign.
I'll take it.
But yeah, you guys take a very like roundabout scenic route back toward the inn/coffee shop, whatever that you all are staying at, the central hub area of town.
All right, so we give this bad boy to our buddies. They give it to
Tavio.
I was gonna say
Leandro or
Leandro,
Tavio.
who gives it to Tavio, who gives it to the ether. I don't know how this works.
I
Well,
think the less hands it has to pass through, the better.
Everybody give me a luck check. See if anybody...
That's a 5.
Also a 5.
14.
Okay.
Taz, you do realize there is actually one member of your party who would be able to smuggle this in for you
It's Hyacinth.
unnoticed. It's Hyacinth.
It's a bun.
Great.
Yes.
Because Christy, the player, didn't know that.
I mean, there's just this like weird inkling you get. You'd almost forgotten that Hyacinth was with you.
That is 100%
to
true.
be
I
fair.
see. My brain was like Hyacinth went with Devan,
Well, I mean, yes,
Yes.
Hyacinth is with Devan. So you have, but you also like,
but with the party.
yes,
Yeah.
as far as a party member who could absolutely have this on them and come in with you, as opposed to having to do a handoff. So that is an option that you would have if you wanted.
Does Hyacinth count as a pocket dimension?
Given
That is a question. That is a question. There's no end to that sentence. That is a question.
considering the source of the information, I think we're okay. But I could be 100% wrong.
Yeah, Taz, you know very little about Hyacinth other than you've seen. He's got a lot of teeth, and you've seen him change sizes a lot, and his eyes are full of stars. But you've probably heard some stories from the others about some weird things that he's done, like that one time that he soloed a robot with a laser beam.
So what if we just like made Hyacinth eat it?
He might do that for fun anyway.
Yeah,
So-
that is the vibe I get.
Do we want to set up then a rendezvous with Stuart and Devan to trade over
Sure.
and the letter just in case?
Sounds good.
Boop, boop, doop.
I will message. I'll message Stuart on the bracelet and just be like, "Hey, meet us here," and the plan.
Cool. Are you meeting back at the tavern? Or do you want to meet somewhere in the market?
It could just be a hey, where you at?
Yeah. Hey, where you at? Well, he can't respond to me.
Could also just stash in our room for them to pick up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool. You head back. You leave a bunch of stuff in your room, stashed in your room. You message Stuart, letting him know what is there for them to look at and what the plan is. Not necessarily like the full plan, but we're doing
Sorry,
this.
that wasn't. It was the with a note to just hurry to grab it.
Yeah.
Because if there's an earthquake and that thing falls through a floor, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
Nope, that won't be long enough. Carry on.
Floating just.
I was like, can I just leave it floating?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say you send the message and almost instantly you hear scratching at the door.
Just let him in.
Yep. Tiny bunny.
Interdimensional.
Okay.
Pops in.
It's there.
He walks over and starts sniffing at the tube. Kind of looks at you.
Just whatever you do, don't attune to it, and you'll be fine.
Leave it in the case.
That.
He kind of hops alongside of it a couple of times. Small bunny, large tube. Looks. Kind of looks at you guys a little self-conscious. Gets up, does the little thing where bunny clean the ears.
Do you want us to look away?
Unhinges his jaw, opens it, and just this entire tube.
He flirkins it.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically. And then he just kind of looks back at you, just
Thank you. Note. Great.
Okay, he can be yelling when he wants to be. That's good to know.
I feel like we should give him a snack after that, but also maybe there's no room. I don't know.
Beef jerky.
immediately chows down.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Then kind of looks at you guys and sort of sits up. Seems to be kind of querying if you want him to go with you or if you want him to return to Stuart and Devan.
Do we just take him with us?
I mean, we
Just in case.
can, because we can either A, attempt to clear the path for them to follow us, or we don't risk that and they're there as our exit.
I'm going to take the note back and leave it, or the letter of agreement back and leave it on the side table.
Yeah.
And then we'll take him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. He scans the three of you. I'm going to roll for it to see. Scans the three of you, locks onto Taz, and basically almost like a kitten would, but slightly less painful, just climbs up and gets onto your shoulder.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Where y'all heading?
Time to get a job?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I am.
Huey, do you want to do the convincing?
Sure.
Casual reminder, they are already looking for workers. We are the solution to their problem. It shouldn't be too hard of a pitch to just be like, hello, we've just arrived here. We need money, please. Money, please. Taz, dollar bills rolling out of her clothes with a rabbit on her shoulder. Money, please.
Great. I'm double checking. They have all of this information. Okay. From your conversation with Tavio, he sort of explained that there is this like extra passage that is sort of used. And within that conversation, he also probably would have explained that there are these cave systems like up in the walls of these mountains that surround the place. No one goes there. They're too dangerous, but it is known / believed that there are probably access points in there. In the sense that like people believe that is probably the case because that's kind of the only reason for those cave systems to exist. Nobody goes there or maintains them or anything, so at this point they're probably full of like whatever wildlife has moved in, and they're probably super dangerous. But the one that is kind of on easiest access level, kind of ground level, there's a little like shrine kind of in this one thing that's set to the side that has the extra entrance. And that is a place where you would probably be able to go and like find a guard or an Onyx Scar guard and be like, hey, we heard you're looking for, like, we're looking for work. We heard you're looking for people. So that would be probably an easy place. You could also just go straight up to the front steps and be like, hello, I would like has job now.
Yeah.
Somebody will get you.
I can
was
has
my
income too.
thought as well.
So whichever of those routes you would like to go, those would be easiest. I mean, you could probably just wander around through the streets being like, oh darn, if only I could get a job doing hard labor for quick cash. And somebody would be like, hey.
Hey there, little lady. How do you feel about labor?
Yeah. Hey there, how would you like to conduct some illicit activity in exchange for money?
Every day of my life.
Truly. Cool. Which method would you like to go with? Or which location would you like to head to? It doesn't super matter, just is how I describe it.
Let's just head to the site and say, hey, can we have a job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I head to the site and say, hey, can I have a job?
Yeah. Yeah, you head toward the tomb. You guys haven't actually been there yet. You've heard about it, you've kind of seen the like that front face that's kind of carved in the rock at a distance. So as you approach, let me see if it actually has any good. What you see is like these, steps that were probably once really lovely. Again, like everything in this town, beautiful architecture that has crumbled away with time and earthquakes and just general entropy of existing. But these beautiful steps that were carved up into the mountains, and then this sort of like mural relief situation that clearly had some sort of doors in the middle of it. It's very impressionistic, kind of depicting this like large humanoid figure with its arms upstretched and these kind of symbols around it that might represent something like magic. And then mountains also sort of like surrounding this figure and encircling it. At the top of these steps in front of this image, you see like 4 or 5 beefy looking dudes wearing all black.
Is that kind of hot?
Ugh. Hey, how's it going? Heard you're looking for some workers and doing some laborage down in the Tumo.
Who'd you hear that from?
Around?
2 of them look at each other. One guy just does the slowest face. And then just you hear like him mutter under his breath. It's like, look, I know we said we needed more guys, but I thought of all people, Mayor was gonna be a little more discreet about it. Damn. Just like, great. Do you have any friends, family, or next of kin who need to be notified in the case of an accident? You will be doing underground work, so there is an inherent amount of danger involved. I just want to preface that. You can bail out now if you so choose.
Taz just throws her hand in the air and goes, "Orphan," and starts walking forward.
The dude who facepalmed is just like, yeah, okay, and high fives. Yep, you're in the right place. I do feel like it is important to warn you that once you enter into our employ, you are bound by a non-disclosure agreement in accordance with our union contracts that do not permit you to speak to anyone outside of these walls other than your fellow employees about anything you see, hear, handle, or observe within these walls. And even if they are fellow employees, we strongly recommend you just don't talk to anybody. You probably just shouldn't leave again until you're done with the job, at which point we will happily relocate you to another demiplane where you will not speak of this to anyone. Sound good?
I would love to know more about the union.
We do automatically deduct dues from your pay, pension, health insurance. The dental plan's kind of ishy, but we do have one. And
Great.
you know, opt in for a 401k.
Cool. Retirement and healthcare to make sure that things go, in case things go wrong, generally they don't.
Also, we will automatically be the beneficiaries of your life insurance policy.
You personally?
We, the organization. That's why we have to know if there's like friends or family members, so that we can try to make alternate arrangements for kicking some of your last paycheck to them. Because unfortunately, the insurance policy goes straight to the organization. Look, we tried. We got very outvoted.
Sounds like you got some scabs in there.
Yeah, well, you know, we're pretty sure that there was a rival organization trying to stir up and foment some insurrection amongst the group, and
Damn rival organizations, they're always rivaling!
yeah, that's the problem, right?
You know, we do know a friend who might be able to help kind of renegotiate those union terms.
I really, honestly don't think we're gonna be around long enough for that to become an issue.
Ah, new job. Got it.
Yeah, let's just say we've already got an exit strategy in place. This is a temporary short-term contract with a finite amount of work to be done.
You did mention maybe just don't ever leave until the contract's over. I was curious, did you have a ballpark on when that contract was going to be up? Just out of curiosity.
When the resources have been fully exhausted.
Uh-huh.
So it depends on how fast you work. You collectively, the workers, the workforce.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't want you to think I was singling you out amongst your peers or anything.
No. I was more curious about, like, no idea what that ballpark. You could be like, look, just eyeballing it like a year, eyeballing it like 3 days.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say since the earthquakes have started to slowly collapse everything in the town, probably sooner than later.
All right, well, I guess that makes sense.
Cool.
All right, then we accept.
Great. I'm gonna need you to sign these NDAs.
Sign.
Awesome. One guy walks over and like opens a smaller person size. You can see now you've gotten up to the top of the steps and you're closer to this relief. This like ancient, beautifully carved relief of this kind of mystical thing. There is a like very slim crack. You can see this opens into like 2 bigger doors. There are also 2 like smaller, just like smaller humanoid sized doors that you can like open within the big doors. Great, congratulations. Welcome to probably the rest of your life. Let's go. And 3 of the dudes like phalanx behind you and just usher you guys in. Door pull shut behind you.
You can get hard hats?
Yeah, we need to talk about some union propositions here. For safety, is this OSHA compliant?
You just hear out of the corner just... you look over, you see a real scrawny looking dude, stringy hair, very worn work clothes, looking like, I'm sorry, did they tell you there's like union protections here? That's great. You signed the paperwork already, didn't you?
I mean, I didn't use my real name, so does that...
I mean, probably not legally binding, but you gotta get out first. Anyway, hey, you wanna come check it out? My name's Javier. I'll be your guide.
Is your last name McGucket?
No.
Damn, I had a feeling.
For a tour.
Yeah, let's go see what the rest of our lives look like.
It's gonna look like Holland rocks. Hope you like Holland.
I prefer.
Would you like to ruminate on existentialism first?
I was gonna say I prefer kicking, but carry on.
My roadie days have come back to haunt me.
Oh, you should be good at this then.
Yep, let's up to it.
Your love for rock has gone down.
It's not what I meant by rock and roll!
Javier escorts you now down a set of steps that kind of lead you kind of down deeper into the mountain. And eventually these steps take you down and then open up into a room. Torches mounted to 4 pillars light this ancient room. In the center of the room, a table and several chairs are situated in front of a vertical slab of granite measuring 10 feet high and 30 feet wide. The slab bears carvings of people carrying offerings to a citadel nestled within the mountains. Looks like a depiction of the entrance to this place. 4 battle-ready members of the town guard are standing next to the pillars.
4, you said?
Yes, so there's 4 support pillars and this big, like, frieze, and then there's a guard kind of standing beneath the pillars. They are dressed like the generic town guard as opposed to the, like, thugs that were outside.
Sure.
But they are, like, tricked to the teeth. You've got, like, double scimitars, knives, you know, across the, like, very, very well armed, very well armored. Don't look super comfy, but it is a lot cooler in here now that you're sort of inside the mountain. It's a little bit darker. Taz, this is the first relief
she's like,
you've
oh,
gotten.
thank God.
Yeah, this is the first relief your eyes have gotten this entire time.
Would you say this place is dimly lit?
Yeah, I would, in fact. You're probably having a harder time.
Yeah.
I mean, it is lit. There are torches, but it's definitely like, not to continue making the Indiana Jones references, but like if you've ever waited in line for the Indiana Jones ride, like that's the vibe we're going for, as far as the lighting at least.
Yeah, not the room with the big screen where they tell you what's happening.
No, that part where you've got like all the like spikes, and if you rattle the one thing, you can hear people yelling.
Though I would really appreciate it if we are being led into our employee orientation, and now Sala's gonna get up and be like, I see you've got a job. Welcome to the pit.
Javier walks you in, kind of like waves at the guards and like, hey, these are the new guys, I guess. If anybody wants to place bets on how long they last, I'll be in the quarters later. He's got full crazy eyes, I want to be clear. Like, you have not seen him blink once yet.
Taz passes him a piece. She's like, $5, I outlast him.
Yeah. I see ya, I gotcha.
$10, I go down in 2 days.
I was gonna put in for like 3.
Oh, thank you for the confidence. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
Taz like,
Anything like the door of fish.
The two nearest guards come up and they're like, all right, arms up. We gotta make sure you don't have anything you're not supposed to have. Do any of you guys have weapons on you? Did you leave that stuff?
of course I've got weapons.
Why, this is my tool.
Yeah, I used a lot of knives to dig. Like so many knives.
And I use this axe for axing.
Yeah, this ain't lumberjack camp Skippy. That's gonna go on the table.
What? You can use this to break down anything. And it's like, hey, like, what if we find some giant bones I need a hack at?
On the table.
Please? I do with the persuasion check?
On the table. You may attempt a persuasion check.
I should enhance my ability first.
Caw-caw.
Yeah, I ain't persuading shit. I got a 12.
Yeah, he looks and he's like, look, we'll keep it here for you, and if you make it out, you can have it back.
Okey-doke.
Cool. They are going to do this is like a gentle pat down search. So I'm going to say, like, specifically, like, Taz, if you would like to make a sleight of hand check to see if you can have stashed a couple of your daggers somewhere.
Yeah.
Basically the way this works, anything that is a like a light weapon, so if you've got like a sling, a dagger, something like that you want to try to hide, you can give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can stash it in a place where they don't give you the pat down for it. Anything that is heavy, like short swords, anything like larger than that, they're gonna find.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how big is a mace?
Too big.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Taz pulls out the obvious. Like, she's got a short bow and a short sword, so she's like, there was no way I was gonna hide that. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Mace.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Don't you worry. Sleight of hand, I'm fine. That's a 22.
Yeah. Yeah, they give you like a rudimentary pat down and give you the thumbs up. In addition to the fact that they find none of your knives, I don't know how many you have on your character sheet, but you have all of them.
Yeah, enough.
Anything that's listed there. They also, you realize, do not find, notice, or care about the bunny.
Yeah, I was curious about that. This is my emotional support rabbit. Get out of here.
As far as you know, there's still a bunny sitting on your shoulder, and they just do not seem to even acknowledge or clock that. So,
I mean, it's a bunny. That's not a weapon.
Is it an invisible bunny?
you can still see the bunny.
Okay.
It's a specifically worded statement. That's fine. I don't ask questions of the cosmic being on my shoulder, frankly.
Yeah. Are you attempting
I got
to
nothing
hide
on
anything?
me.
Great. Yeah. No, they give you the quick pat down. You're fine. They will check you, QA. They will also have you throw your mace on the table with the other stuff, and they're just like, yeah. We're gonna put these in the lockers. If you live, you can have them back. I guess. I don't know what we're gonna do with them, so whatever. They will also not let anyone keep their armor on.
Well, thankfully I don't have any.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that affects any of this specific group. But
I have
just-
leather armor on, but
Yeah.
I have so many questions. Like, I get weapons. They're already sending us in with what I can assume is no hard hat at all. They're not even gonna let us keep our bare minimum protection to the earthquake cave?
I didn't write this.
Are they gonna at least give us a hammer or something?
I'm sure they'll give us tools, but I get them being like, these are the specific tools you need to use for the thing. That's fine. I'm not certified in rockology. I don't know what's happening.
Given the number of people who have asked you guys if you're seismologists in this town, you feel like they do in fact take this a little seriously.
Yeah.
So
Just sitting here like, do we even get PPE? Come on.
if you could have a doctor's note showing asthma or other respiratory diseases, we will upgrade your facial coverings.
Oh, great.
Otherwise, it's those. It points to a box of what looks like just basically like scarves and bandanas.
Better than nothing.
look through and find one that I like.
Yeah. But the least grody looking.
Yeah.
It's not even that. I'm going for like
Oh, you're going for the
color,
aesthetic. Oh, yeah. You find a nice maroon bandana
Oh,
that goes really
yeah.
nicely with your
Beautiful. Pop it on.
outfit. Great. You.
Can I message just like while this is happening, just like send Stuart a message that's like, if you get here and you're able to grab Huey's axe, it's in locker 13.
You do realize that this is probably the last point at which you're going to be able to message or sending without starting to run into the too many feet of rock between you and target problem. I say that in the vagaries of I'm not looking at the exact wording of the spell.
No,
so it may not
I
affect
can just
those.
send it. So as an
Okay.
action, you can send a telepathic message to. I say message because that's.
Oh, you are
Yeah,
using your
I am using
your
my,
token.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as long
you're
as
fine,
he
you're
is
clear.
within 10 miles of me.
Yeah, you're fine. The entire town is the size of San Francisco, so everything's 7 square miles. You're fine.
Just gotta watch out for them hills.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys will start running into the like 3 feet or more of stone problem with certain things as you get deeper into the fucking mountain. Great. Yeah, your stuff is confiscated. Your shit's confiscated. They chuck it in a locker. And then one of the guards escorts you around the big relief carving, and you can see it's kind of standing inside the room, but there's like ways to pass it on either side. You kind of flip around to the other side of it. It's just sort of freestanding in the middle of this room, and you begin to walk forward into a hallway. You look at this hallway and you can see little like cutouts inside the walls that once probably held little like creches, little like, you know, altars or shrines to various deities or whatever that have clearly been converted into arrow slits so that people can post up behind and just absolutely ninja trap the hell out of this hallway.
I will just keep like a running, like, I hope you're writing things down, Stuart, and like running list of everything we are observing.
Next week is going to be hilarious as I have to pop quiz the 2 missing players on did you watch the episode and take notes?
I will hand Thomas a piece of paper.
This is what you say next time. You can just copy off of what you're writing down.
It's gonna be in Thieves' Cant, though.
$sign.
So, anyway, you are ushered down this hallway. As you walk by, you are able to, you see that on, what? This thing switches between left and right and east and west, and it bugs me. It was probably just like a weird little move. You see that on the western side, so to your left, you can see that there are some more of these black suited goons behind that side. You can kind of see them moving on that side of the thing. Doesn't seem to be anybody on the other side though. As you proceed forward, you make your way through this hallway again, and you're being led by one of these guards. You enter into a huge domed chamber. Encircling this domed chamber is a 15-foot-high mezzanine supported by 4 limestone pillars. In the room's center, a 30-foot-tall statue made of lustrous black rock reflects the torchlight. The statue depicts a giant, his face frozen in determination and his arms bracing the ceiling. A hole in the statue's chest exposes an obsidian heart with glittering veins of silver and gold. Scaffolding around the statue provides easy access to the mezzanine. Standing on and around the scaffolding are several workers. Some are using pickaxes to chip away at the statue, while others are gathering chunks of the statue into crates. There are passages here that lead to the northwest and northeast, as well as south, which is the one that you entered from.
Is this?
I'm
what
sorry,
it's-
this won't show up on camera very well for those of you watching at home, but for my players at least, this is what you are seeing.
Okay.
Damn.
Perfect.
Is this in the like big hole in the
think
middle
that,
of our
yeah.
map?
The center of the upper level.
So yeah. So interestingly, on your map, the place where you are standing now is on the lower level, and it is not indicated on your map.
Hilarious. Okay.
So, or at least not very clearly.
Well, yeah, it
So-
seems like there's
This space on your map that is labeled, this says all faiths as one, That is the hallway you just
Right.
passed through. Yes.
Right.
So you are now past that kind of where the tear is.
Yeah.
On the lower level, but it does seem to probably equate to that upper level being sort of the mezzanine. Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be clear because of the way, like, you're not seeing the lineup on the way the map is drawn, but you are seeing the
Right.
Yes.
The columns are indicated on the upper level. They are not indicated on the
Yes.
lower level. But that, nope, doesn't match up. We're not going to worry about it.
To give you the
Spatial
tiniest
Thank you.
view of my map, you can see there's the two circles that
Oh.
Okay, so
yes.
it's just
Yeah.
not in
So
the middle. So it
you-
is in the big tear, but not
Yeah,
the big
it's
tear.
not in the.
Your map ends here.
Yeah.
This is the place where you currently are on the lower level. And then that is the upper level view where there's this mezzanine and the top of the statue.
Copy.
Yes. Sorry. Again, did not print things out for my players because I'm a terrible DM.
Or life.
No, not at all.
But yeah, you see, and so you see this giant like statue that is like, you know, clearly also support structure for
Yeah.
this space. And yeah, you see a bunch of workers kind of, some are up top, kind of chipping away at this big hole kind of in the chest. Some are down at the bottom, sort of chipping away on like legs and feet. It's like they do seem to be being really careful about like, they're looking for like thicker areas because you don't want to like chip out the entire base if this is a support structure. So you're kind of staggered different points. Most of the work of this is like chipping away either at this hole in the chest or like the sides of the arm, like the shoulder areas, so that you're not taking too much off of the full central weight of the support. And then they're kind of like yeeting it down below where other folks are like gathering it up to break into smaller chunks and put into these crates and things.
Question as we're staring at this thing with its onyx or obsidian heart exposed.
Yeah.
Do we know what kind of giant Zeluan was?
You do not. You have not, or at least you have not heard anything in the stories or the versions of the stories you have been told.
Gemma looks pale.
And you guys do.
Papa.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom, who you haven't heard from.
I know.
In like a month.
You're marble. That's different. That's onyx. It's fine.
That's not.
Taz knows nothing about rocks.
Taz knows about the only kind of rocks that matter, which are gemstones and cocaine.
Yeah. True.
I'm just saying, if we are harvesting him,
Yeah.
that's all.
No, I had assumed that was a very real. That's not a metaphor over there. That's a guy.
I think that's a guy.
I think that's a guy, and I think that the that's what needs to get replaced.
With a little certain thing that might be wrapped.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to find which location I went again. As you guys enter this space, too, so you walk in, you take a moment, you're looking at this Gemma, you are overwhelmed with some concerns.
Yeah.
And now I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw as the largest tremor you have yet felt ripples through the space.
Jesus Christ.
In the box.
The earthquake isn't happening here.
Yeah, it's not
It's
bad.
okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Method acting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use a bit.
That is.
Just for fun.
Use some bits
Use
if
some
you need them.
bits.
Use them if you need them.
Sorry.
That belongs to the floor now.
Okay, it's better. It's not great, but it's better.
Do you need to get really, really big for a few minutes?
Inorganic.
No,
Ah?
you're living. You're living.
As her sphere breaks.
Inorganic.
Inanimate is different.
No.
I'm animate. I just don't know if I'm
Right.
organic.
Rocks are organic,
Yeah.
Cheryle. They're carbon based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally just had this debate about
Then what is
organic
this-
soil.
But then what
Yes,
does this
yes.
work on?
Plastics? I don't know.
That's actually a very good question. Inorganic object.
I'm not an object. So
Thomas, we've got some questions about the word. I think it should. It means you can't use it on a person or
Yeah,
a creature.
yeah,
You can use it on an object. You are not. You might be an object of someone's affection, Dave, but you are not an object.
Great.
Okay. Anyway, what did everyone actually get another deck save? Sorry, I got distracted with
21.
21,
25?
13.
13.
It's better.
No, that's fine. That's better. You lose your balance after, like, you probably do kind of like stumble and fall. You catch yourself. It's not like horrific, but like you go down. The two of you are able to just like horse stance, like ride the wave. You do feel Tyson, like just off, like dead weights off your shoulder.
Oops.
You look down and you see Rabbit like full like
Yeah.
blue, like looking around.
Oh yeah, no, Taz like sorry. Watch out for earthquakes and put Tyson back.
you about that.
Yeah, sorry. Just brace yourself. If you feel shaky coming, you just grip the dickens out of my shoulder.
You hear a weird sound that's almost like when a cat sort of purr growls. It's kind of a little bit like that. It doesn't seem mad at you or anything. Just like a general like discontented sound.
Yeah. Don't worry, baby. We're gonna have you blorf it up soon enough.
Maybe scare some people out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have an idea.
However, more importantly, none of you are hit by the massive amounts of debris that suddenly shake loose and fall from the ceiling, the statue ? And the loose like stonework and stuff that is up on the thing. Like there's just like chaos. You hear a bunch of like shrieking, a bunch of people kind of duck. Several people clearly have adapted this and like immediately like duck and cover or get under like more structurally sound areas. One person actually does slip off the like scaffolding that is around the statue, but is able to like at the last second kind of catch themselves, and a friend like runs over and grabs them, and they're able to sort of haul them back up. But like everyone just like immediately looks around, takes a second. Workers look spooked, guards look spooked. They take a moment. There's no aftershock. They like slowly just kind of get back up and continue working.
You know, I think things would be a lot safer around here if everybody was allowed to keep their 50 feet of rope.
The guard turns and like gives you just kind of like a deadpan death glare. You see up top the like gal who almost fell kind of like glances down a little bit, but the guy who helped her looks and is like clearly like nodding like yes, absolutely. Doesn't say anything, but it just like looks down and just like kind of gives you like yeah, like duh. The guard who walked you in points to some crates that are alongside, and he is hammers, pickaxes, goods come off the statue, goods go in the boxes over there. You need anything? Ask them. And he heads back out.
Taz immediately gets 2 pickaxes. Yeah, she's totally gonna use those to work.
The gal from up top of the scaffolding kind of makes her way down, kind of like dusts off her hands a little bit and walks up to you. You see this is a dwarf woman. She walks in and is just like, well, see you got the old earthquake greeting. Hi, welcome. Y'all must be new.
Yeah, how you doing? Taz.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Maria.
Nice to meet you, Maria.
Yeah, it's a living or
Until
a dying. Yeah, there's not really much to explain. I'm sure you signed the paperwork. You know the drill. We just kind of just get it done. So, let us know if you need anything. I'm working up top with Zandy, and everybody else I think is working down below. If you want to go for like the midsection, I think there's some kind of chunks on the like backside area that don't seem to be too structural. You can kind of dip into, or if any of you is real good at like climbing and like real comfortable with the heights and stuff, we can start kind of chipping away at the like the elbows section before it gets back too far onto the like structural weight. Yeah, I didn't study engineering, but I've learned a lot real fast because our last engineer left last week. So
Now, when you say left, do you mean,
went home for the night and didn't come back. I'm hoping that means he finally cashed out his check and got out of Dodge, but like the earthquakes have gotten real bad, and we've had more than one coworker that didn't get out in time.
Is this like a round the clock situation, or does everybody nap at the same time? Or
We kind of go in shifts. Like, we're not required to work 24/7, but like nobody wants to stay here longer than they have to. So we're kind of just sort of like, gentleman's agreement where we could just kind of get everything done and as quick as we can so we can all GTFO.
Taz is deeply looking at the structural integrity of those elbows because she has no qualms with heights whatsoever, and she likes to scale things.
So, kind of, this is a hard way to do it. Like, if you're looking at the picture, this is like, my theater tech friends. When you're like lifting something up, and so you kind of like get under the table and you like brace it on. Try to do this while I'm still talking to the mic. Like, you brace on like kind of the back of your shoulders with your neck pushed forward, so it's on the back of your neck and shoulders, and then your arms, so you kind of got 3 points of lift. That's kind of what's happening here. So it looks like the like structural weight point is really on like the neck and shoulders of the giant, and the arms are more providing balance. So you feel like you could probably take off like a good chunk of the elbow area before you start really risking structural integrity. This is a wild thing to realize I have to describe for the audio format.
Yes.
A challenge for me.
Apologies for that.
No, it's a good exercise.
I mean, Taz needs to know how she can get her swing points secure just in case she needs to, I don't know, Tarzan her way past a heart hole and shove something into it.
It definitely looks like there are points on both the statue and the ceiling where like you could probably drive like stakes or pythons to give yourself some anchor points and create sort of a rigging system. You might have to go like sweet talk a guard into I have a plan for work to get some of the like more of a python situation if you need something heavier than wood. But like you could absolutely, like, your skill set is such that you could absolutely explain this in a way where they're like, oh yeah, like chunk a bunch of little like rings in so that we can thread things through, and then we've got all this structural pulley system. Yeah.
Taz might actually just effectively be like, you've got an engineering position over here?
I'm technically, like if you've got some engineering skills, like you would probably make a good case for it. I might even give you a pay bump and you can get out of here faster. Although if you wanted to stay and you've got engineering skills, like that would be kind of great because we're kind of winging it at this point. All of our folks, there's a pretty high turnover rate out here.
Can't imagine why.
That makes Taz does a quick rundown. Well, I just noticed, and then like points out like all these structural points. Like, if you actually had somebody over here, you could probably do this and balance it over there on the left, and like you can actually get somebody out there without risking all this crap falling on them.
Wow, that's a great idea. We should sketch out a plan and present it to the boss next time she comes through and see if we can get that approved, because I'll bet they'd actually provide supplies if that allows us more efficiency.
Oh, yeah, I heard the boss is kind of scary.
I mean, like, she's fine. I mean, I'd rather talk to her than that, like, weird elf guy with all the, like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, that sounds like it's a racist thing. It's not. I know elves and dwarves historically is really not that. He's just absolutely a creeper. The other elf guy was really nice. sorry about what happened to him, but you know, again, with the earthquakes and everything, just accidents happen. And guess there was like a trap or something. I'm not supposed to say. You didn't hear that from me.
Don't
We
worry.
haven't found any others. I promise.
Yeah, technically we didn't hear it from you. We did get it from somewhere else.
Okay. We're really not supposed to talk about it. The boss really doesn't like when we talk about him.
Could you just, casually point out where that happened, just in case?
She kind of points up and is like, a big hole in the chest. Yeah,
That
it was bad. It was bad.
that makes sense.
There was a lot of blood. It was really gross. I only saw the aftermath. I wasn't there when it happened. Thank God.
That's rough.
Yeah. Anyway, just we haven't found any other traps like that or anything, and we don't really venture too far deeper into some of the other parts of the space because there's like monsters and stuff that kind of live in some of the deeper parts because everything's been abandoned for so long. So like, be careful about going too far outside of, the like sleeping quarters and the here. But we haven't found any more evidence of traps, so we think that might have been just the one.
So what kind of monsters are we talking about here?
Somebody got eaten by the carpet, like the moss carpet, not like a rug, like a yeah, like more like the there was like a bed of moss and then it like swallowed them, or that's what I heard. I wasn't there.
Is there any way we know what the hell that is?
Roll me a nature check.
Oh, for the love of Christ. That is a... No.
I would immediately be like, what?
We're very much like, use them
That
or lose
was
them.
a 3.
You have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Maybe someone more well-versed in nature?
I have a different character who's obsessed with moss.
That character would instantly know what this was.
I know.
Natalie and Vivian really should have been the two.
Yeah,
on
that's
this.
true.
Put the wrong characters to this campaign.
Oopsie.
Oh well. I'm trying. Sorry, I'm running through my brain really quickly to see if Gemma encountered.
Do you want me to
this
roll it?
creature before. I don't think you guys have encountered this creature before in this campaign. If you would like to roll, if you were listening to this
Just
conversation,
in the
you wanna roll
realm of
just to-
like mother
Yeah,
gets
like-
into
no,
some
no.
weird swampy thing.
Yeah, if either of you wants to roll just to see if you happen to have heard of something that fits this description.
That's better.
15.
15? Yeah. There are many creatures out there that you have heard of before that look like plants. Definitely Mother has talked about a few things. Eaten by a carpet of moss, your best guess is maybe something like a shambling mound.
Great. Thank you for confirming.
Yes, I say to the player who clearly knows what
Shambling
this
mound.
is, but to confirm for the character, yes.
Death House had one.
Oh. Taz doesn't know what that is.
Anyway. But yeah, at this point, Maria kind of looks around and is just like, we should get to work. We should get back to work. And they get really antsy if we stand around talking too long. They're not paying us to talk. I'm going to work on the ground for a little bit. So I'm going to go sort boxes over there. But you can ask me if you've got questions. You can ask Zandy if you've got questions. She points up to the human or half-elf, can't tell from this distance. Those ears might be a little pointy. Who was the one who helped her not fall. You guys probably already met Javier. Don't worry about him. He's different kind of weird from the elf guy, but he is harmless. He's just been down here too long. The dark kind of got to him. I think he might have like drunk the water somewhere that he shouldn't have or something. Like, I don't know.
Is there a specific source we should use?
I'm just like, maybe drink like the filtered water that they bring in from town and don't just drink out like random crevices in the mountains, because I don't know. Maybe some of it's like sweet, lovely water bubbling up from underground wells, and some of it might be like horrifying runoff from who knows what. I'm not sure.
Good to know.
Yeah. Be real careful moving around because it's easy to get lost in here, and there's a lot of places that the boss doesn't really want the rest of us going. She's checking them out on her own, I guess, or having her people investigate. So we just kind of stick here and we just, we just gather the ostaconite and we put it in the boxes, and then eventually we get paid and then we leave.
Groovy.
She slings her pickaxe over her shoulder and heads off towards the crates where, like, larger chunks that have been pulled off are kind of getting broken down by people with chisels and hammers into smaller chunks to be packed into these crates.
Taz, can I borrow your emotional support bunny, please? Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm gonna hold Tyson a little bit too tightly.
Yeah.
And Gemma, can I borrow an emotional support gem?
Yeah.
Specifically something for the 300 GP or more range.
Yeah. Boot.
Yeah.
Let chaos commence. The time is right.
Oh boy.
Gemma.
Yeah.
Please go ahead as you're snuggling Hyacinth.
That's what I assumed.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
You may make this with advantage because Hyacinth will give you the help action through Snuggles.
Thank you. Arcana.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a bit at you.
Bit.
Thank you, because I was reading.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nice. This material, this like whole statue, everything about the statue, everything in those boxes
Is bad?
highly magical.
Yeah.
Not necessarily bad.
No,
But-
everything
no,
about
no.
this.
No, everything
part
about the
of it.
situation seems not ideal.
I don't like it.
No, everything seems highly magical, and with a dirty 20, you are pretty sure that you could use this material to add a bonus to your spellcasting. You think this would actually amplify your ability to use magic.
Ooh.
But as you also think about the warning, the very vague warning you got about the thing in the tube, you also feel like that could have consequences.
I'm not gonna do that. I am, however, gonna get closer. Like I'm kind of just like checking things out, inspecting, and see if I can find like a little corner of an ankle. Like what can I reach? And just like cast mending on it and see what happens.
I was gonna say, don't go for the ankle for too many stories.
I'm just doing a quick scan of everything. Yeah, you walk over to the ankle, you find maybe like a place where it's like cracked off of where something was chipped out or whatever. And you cast mending on it. Give me a... What would this check be? Give me another Arcana check.
That is a 19.
19. You cast mending on this crack. The spell takes, it works, but as it does, you almost feel like a weird like a shudder or a ripple that kind of comes through your hand with this. And as that, you feel that you basically like know a split second before it happens that another earthquake is coming.
Oh, great. I'll be like,
Brace!
stabilize.
Yeah. I need Taz and Huey to make dex checks. You do not have to make this check. You are not affected.
Great.
Horse dance. Didn't do shit.
Ooh, wait.
I am holding highs.
Yeah. Or sorry, I guess dex saving throw,
Yeah.
to clarify.
That is a 9.
9.
24.
You again like drop your weight, brace, just kind of ride it like a surfer. You stumble and kind of either fall or have to like catch yourself against something nearby. You don't even feel it. Like you know it happens. You see it happen around you. You don't feel it in that moment.
Great.
You do feel Hyacinth. Like it's you're holding Hyacinth and it feels like Hyacinth is suddenly like 400 pounds for a brief second and then it's and you feel like that little tiny bit of like almost like claws digging in, not trying to hurt you, but just that instinctive like moment.
Yeah. We gotta get up at the top.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, unless you have something else you wanted to add in that particular moment, I know exactly what Tad's about to do.
I will just, like, scooch back over and be like, yeah, we gotta fix this.
You want me to, like, football throw him up there or something?
Oh.
We can walk up
Yeah,
there.
there's scaffolding that just, like, takes you up there, because there are people working at that area.
Cool. Didn't know if time was of the essence, but yeah, that seems much more safe.
Yeah, I mean, Taz has already lost it just with the general structural non-safety. That's great. She's like, I can't stand this. Someone get me rope. And she's just like charging ahead, yelling at people like, okay, you put this here, get pointing in there. Like she is like not having any of this.
Fully taken over on trying to get this into any level of safety.
No, so she's going to outline her plan so that they have some sort of structural way to ensure that they can actually achieve the whole section, depending on where scaffolding is, whatever. She's got this cross section, so there is a safety net occurring for anyone at between levels. She's trying to get that.
Yeah, you see Zandy comes down, the one who was like with you when you were making the comments. Actually, he comes down. As he gets closer, you can see he's got kind of like the slightly elven features, but he also is a little barky, and you realize he's an Earth Genasi. And he rolls up. He's got like basically wearing like the cargo pants and the tank top, and he just like rolls up and he's like, "This is what I've been saying. It's completely unsafe. And if we were to secure the structure," just gets very into it with you.
Great, we're best friends now.
Yes, no, you guys immediately start trying to OSHA compliance the hell out of this place. Huey and Gemma, you're able to just make your way up. This is also great because since Sandy's come down, now nobody is up there immediately by this this massive gaping wound in the torso. You get up there and you get closer, and you can indeed see that inside this statue is a fully anatomically correct obsidian heart that is pulsing with these gold and silver veins that look like veins. And as you get up closer, you can see that like little ripple surge of like shimmer, very much like the shard in the tube.
Cool.
And you can also see in this heart there is a big jagged chunk missing.
Well, should we put this in and make our way out, or should we make sure no one's here before we do it?
Hyacinth hops down inside your hands on the ground. Look, he looks around, hops down to the scaffolding.
I like turn around to block him to make sure no one can see him.
Yeah, he gets really, really low, and then you just see again like his jaw just like fully unhinges, and he just like steps backward, and this thing just like out of him, and then he just sort of like little tongue action of like, oh, that tasted gross.
Great. Okay. How is it like if we just like throw, like, are we able to touch the chest?
You can reach it, like you up on the scaffolding, like you might have to, like you might need someone to like brace your hips so you can kind of like lean in, but
I want to Huey cover.
Right.
Like unscrew, open it.
I can give us a big cover if we want it, but it'll be a noticeable cover.
Yeah.
You're actually doing a great job of covering by just very loudly starting to give instructions about creating some
Oh,
structural.
yeah.
Like,
No.
I'm saying that is occupying most of the attention. There's about 6 workers in here scattered throughout, and about 4 of them have now clustered up around you and Zandy.
Yeah.
To figure out what's going on, and then a couple of them are just continuing to they're listening, but they're continuing to break up the larger chunks and put them into
Sure.
I'm
yeah.
going to mage hand it out of the tube and then into the chest.
Cool. You take your mage
I'm
hand.
gonna mend it.
You press it in.
Sure.
You cast mending. Please make an Arcana check for me.
I feel like I'm
Do I
gonna
have-
prep
is that
for
gonna
another
be that?
earthquake.
Okay, yeah, you can kind of brace yourself up a little bit. You see Hyacinth does the sploot. He just gets as flat to the scaffolding as possible, just in case.
Okay. We're gonna hope.
You're early home.
I almost missed the P there, and I was like, that was in a different part of town. We did that earlier.
Okay. 17.
70.
Well, no, it was lower. So
No, yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just in case. This.
You push it in, you cast mending, and as you start to pull away, you feel a little ripple, and you feel, for just a brief flash, you just feel sad.
Yeah, I've been sad since I walked in here. Yeah.
But you feel just this
Yeah.
a deep sense of sadness and almost betrayal. And you start to pull your mage hand away, and the shard starts to slip out of its socket.
Yeah.
Yeah. You grab it again.
Yeah. Real hands. Just
Yeah, no.
pop it in.
Yeah, pop it in.
You're fine. You're not.
Okay.
You're not.
Yeah.
I mean, something will go a little awry.
Yeah.
Just don't get emotionally involved.
I go first. Since we have walked into this chamber, I have been emotionally
Just
involved.
don't get so emotionally involved that you get super attached to the rock. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, is this one of those things where the statue's trying to tell us what we're supposed to do?
I think the statue's him, Huey.
I mean, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're just gonna keep trying.
Taz
until
yelling
someone
at the ground,
stops
put that bite in there, put that bite in there. Don't get emotionally attached to the rock. Get that over there.
It's like, that's what I've been saying. If you get too invested in your work, you don't realize you're being exploited. Oh, sorry, was that not what you were talking about?
Taz just shorts a bit. She shuffles around. She's like, pulls out a business card. I know a lawyer for you.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Not to be a one-trick pony, can you please make me one more Arcana check?
Yeah.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Back to horse stance.
19.
19. You push this in again, this time with your real hand. You kind of push another mending through. You again feel this flash of sadness and betrayal, and almost that flash of a moment when you've spent so much time and energy working on something only to suddenly realize maybe it was in vain. Maybe it wasn't worth it because nobody bothered to care or follow through. And you feel this thing continuing to slip. It's not taking.
Hyacinth, I need help. I'm just gonna keep pushing it.
Hyacinth grabs your, the leg of your hands and starts tugging you away.
Okay.
Immediately, crawls up your chest and starts, licking your face, basically.
Okay. Okay.
And you realize all of a sudden, as you kind of detach from this in a way, you realize there's something you're missing. It's not you. It's not that you're doing it wrong. It's that there's something else involved. There's another piece. Not necessarily a physical piece, but there's another element that is needed in order to achieve this. Hyacinth like licks your face a bunch and then kind of goes over, looks at the shard, which is sort of like probably like in your hand or at your feet because I'm assuming you didn't let it just drop there. Yeah.
Don't touch it.
And just like
cursed.
looks at you, gives you kind of like here's and unhinges his jaw. It's very unsettling. And kind of gives you this question as he like fully unhinges his jaw and like looks at it like, do you want me to?
I'll put it back in the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He re-swallows the tube.
So what's going on?
There's something missing. We're missing something. I don't know if it's that they need to realize that they're doing bad things. I don't know if it's like a physical thing, if it's a...
Maybe you just need some reassurance.
You want to sing him a song?
It could work.
You sit with it, you kind of think for a minute, you know, as you let these kind of feelings sort of process, because you also realize that you're feeling your own feelings, you're also feeling someone else's feelings. And you think about like, and you're thinking about like the pieces that you've gotten of this. There's magic, and then you keep thinking about like all these things you saw about like how this shard came to be, and the fact that everyone keeps referring to it as like this was a trap. And everybody's talking about it like, you know, it's a statue made of this precious thing, and it was trapped so that nobody would try to steal it. And you're like, well, I know it's not a statue though. It's Zalawon. It's him. And you know that this shard detached and was removed when Relago did something.
Right. We need to figure out what Relago did. Where'd Taz go? Hey Taz, can you come look at this structural thing, please?
Oh no, she got invested.
He's like, I got you. I'm putting in a request for patents right now. And starts,
Yeah,
like,
you
writing
got
stuff
it.
out.
All right. Buzz little Brazil is like, woo, good job today, guys. All right, great haul. I'm just getting up there. Books her way up. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
We're missing something. Relago did something that pushed it out, that triggered the trap, right? So we need to figure out what Relago...
I pull out the diary.
You pull out the diary. You flip to the last entry.
Yeah.
Actually, you pull out the diary. You flip to the last entry. Nothing super specific. Again, it's this very detached, like, this stupid moron did the thing, and I told him he needed to be more careful, and now he's dead, and reading between the lines, I am clearly very upset about this, but I'm trying to detach myself from it, because I don't want to think about the repercussions here. Give me an investigation check as you kind of skim back through the diary.
Before I do that, I'm going to use my enhance ability on myself.
Yeah, go for it. You know where your strengths and weaknesses lie. You can enhance that ability.
Weaknesses, intelligence. So, yeah, I'm going to use Fox's cunning.
Nice.
I'm going to investigate the hell out of this thing. And probably still fail, as is tradition. Ooh! Okay, that's not terrible. I'm going to use a bit just in case.
Do it.
Do it.
Make sure it's...
It's the end of the night.
It's the end of the night.
It's-
Burn them bits. That's fine. It belongs to the table gods now.
Yes.
It belongs to the floor gods now.
It was a real over-under. It's fine.
19.
19.
Yeah, there we go.
You think back through the sections and you kind of like there was something about you were able to skim it through. It takes a moment. You're able to find an entry. And you find an entry where Aminta was like gushing about like these stories that Relago was telling her about all of these things. And he mentions, you see there's a specific mention that he showed her this ring that he wears. It's like a real like dumbass looking. She describes it as a dumbass looking signet, like that thing my dad has to wear. But she mentions that he told her that this is a family heirloom that has been in his family and passed down through the generations since some ancestor of his was a hero in Ostacan, which is why he was always interested in learning more about this place. She frames it as just as like, God, I don't know why anyone would ever be interested in learning about this place. Nothing happens here. You point this out to the rest of your party, and Taz and Gemma sigh deeply as they realize the implications.
I think I hate her more now. I didn't really think that was possible.
She had to learn, I guess about that to learn the hard way. I is a cruel mistress. Ugh. Okay, so maybe he had his little signet thingamajig. Maybe that triggered something. Maybe we need to find that.
Maybe
Right.
it's the fact that he's either a descendant or is one of those party members that worked.
Yeah. So, okay, the easier one, we just grab his ring, bring it up here. The harder one, we grab his corpse and bring it up here.
Well, given the description we got, I don't think corpse is so much. I think that's a strong word for what's left.
It's a real death becomes her.
Oh, at best. If we're lucky.
We're just gonna, stick his
Look,
hand in there.
based on the size of this thing, if you're thinking like an average size adult
just
elf,
like a nice
like
clean-
yeah, like it's a good like chunk.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah, it went through. Like,
yeah,
through
shard
him.
went through, and then
It didn't
it's just,
like
a
obliterate
hole.
him.
The retellings, I guess, have been much more extravagant in my mind than the theater of the mind is real folly in Taz's brain.
You know, you've seen a lot of weird things in your time. It's understandable.
Yeah, she's not really a minor damage kind of gal.
It's valid.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Do we maybe want to see? I know people are really reluctant to actually talk about what happened, but under the guise that I have decided apparently that I'm just the representative for OSHA for this complex, perhaps me inquiring about any sort of things, mostly because if we know how the original trap was triggered, we can put in place precautions against other traps in a way to find out exactly what he did to trigger the trap.
Hyacinth also kind of like snoot boops your ankle and then looks up at you and then just like out like 2 platinum and grins at you.
She kind of wipes off the platinum and is like, the bunny approves. You can come with me.
And as you sit here on the scaffolding, trying desperately to contemplate all the horrifying implications of what piece you might be missing, that is where we are going to end tonight's session. Thank you all for joining us for the second episode of Shard of the Accursed. We will be back next week, hopefully with a full complement, provided everyone has recovered by then. And if not, we'll continue plowing forward with Mini Party and the Scary Bunny. Either way, thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us with your views, likes, comments, subscriptions, bits, Patreons, everything. We really couldn't do this without our viewers, and I really encourage you to leave a comment, share a video, and if you have the means and the interest, throw us a few coins or join our Patreon. You get lots of fun, cool stuff if you're a patron, including our After Dark, which is where we'll be going for at least a few minutes right after this. That is a patron exclusive where you get to watch us scream about all of the weird stuff that happened in an episode, and I reveal secrets about stat blocks and complain about things that I think they should have accounted for and didn't. Like what happens when you use mending on this thing. Anyway, so if you are a patron, please head over to our After Dark. And if you're not a patron, we still love and appreciate you. And we will see you the next time we see you. If you want to get the latest updates on our schedule, please join our Discord. You can find the links all over the place. Thank you so much and good night.